One afternoon, a young salesman noticed a tiny Seattle store buying way too much coffee equipment. And that single anomaly, that one weird data point, pulled Howard Schultz into a world he was soon to be worth $4 billion. 29-year-old Howard Schultz was living an ordinary life. No fame, no fortune, just a young salesman from a working-class Brooklyn family, grinding through long days at a small housewares company. Most mornings looked the same: a cheap coffee, a crowded subway, and a desk stacked with sales reports. But one afternoon, while reviewing routine order sheets, something caught his eye. A tiny Seattle shop, Starbucks, was buying an unusual amount of coffee equipment. Way more than a small retailer should. It didn't make sense. Why would a little coffee store be moving that much product? That single question, that tiny anomaly in a stack of paperwork, pulled him into a story that would change the global market. Curiosity got the better of him, so he flew to Seattle to see for himself. Back then, coffee was the most boring commodity on earth. Burnt diner pots, 50-cent refills. No ritual, no romance, just caffeine in a cup. It was a race to the bottom. Cheap beans, cheaper experiences. And into that world walked Howard Schultz. Still unknown, still ordinary, stepping into a small store that would alter his life. Inside Starbucks, he noticed something subtle but powerful. Schultz saw the one thing every commodity company dreams of: people willingly paying more for something that should be cheap. It wasn't about beans. It was about perceived value, and Starbucks had it without even trying. It stuck with him. But the moment that truly changed everything came in 1983. Schultz visited Milan for a trade show, and on a random street corner, he stepped into an Italian espresso bar. People weren't rushing. They weren't grabbing caffeine and leaving. They were talking, connecting, pausing. Coffee wasn't a product. It was a cultural movement. He came home obsessed. He pitched the idea to Starbucks' founders. Let's bring this to America, a third place between home and work. They said no, so he left, started his own chain. Proved the model worked, and within a year he bought Starbucks outright. The business model was simple: turn a cheap commodity into a premium experience. Schultz didn't try to sell better coffee. He tried to sell a better perception of life. He redesigned stores to feel warm and European. He trained baristas to treat drinks like craft. He introduced new language: tall, grande, venti, subtle status signals disguised as sizes. He made the cup itself a walking billboard. He didn't sell coffee, he sold ritual, and the margins followed. From there, Starbucks didn't just grow, it reshaped culture. It made it normal to spend $4 on something that used to cost 50 cents. It made coffee shops into social hubs. It made the morning cup a lifestyle, and the ripple effect was enormous. Once Starbucks proved people would pay premium prices for everyday goods, other industries followed. Bottled water, craft beer, boutique chocolate, artisanal bread, third wave, everything. Schultz showed the world that if you control the story, you control the margin. Today, Starbucks operates in more than 80 countries. And the idea he brought back from a Milan street corner, the third place, became a blueprint for modern retail. Howard Schultz didn't invent coffee. He reinvented what it meant. He turned a commodity into a culture. And he changed the market forever.